Hello everyone, welcome back to Shady Movie Reviews, and today we're talking about the movie Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark. So another movie based on a book where a group of kids have to face their greatest fears. So kind of like It, but worse. Cue the intro. Alright, so let's just dive right into the plot of this film. So, in this movie we follow a group of kids, Stella, Augie, and Chuck. It's Halloween and they get their costumes on and head out to get some candy. On the other hand, Chuck's sister is with Tommy and his friends for the night. Chuck and his friends do something to piss off Tommy and his crew that lead them and the new kid Ramon to the haunted house of Sarah Bellows. In this house, the kids discover Sarah Bellows' book of scary stories, and now everyone's greatest fears are coming to life. And now Stella and friends have to try and find a way to put a stop to the madness. Alright, so on to my positives and what I liked about the film. Alright, so honestly guys, there's not many good things I could say about this film, but one thing that I really did appreciate about this movie was I appreciated the vision, and I appreciated where they were trying to take the movie, and I could really see that it had potential. They had a really good solid idea, it had a very similar concept to It, but in its execution, and its screenwriting and acting and its suspense and horror aspects is very, very lacking. Alright, so on to my negatives of what I disliked about the film. Alright guys, so one of the things that I really disliked about this film was just the fact that in this film, a lot of the deaths and disappearances in this movie come off as really meaningless and unemotional. And that's from lack of character development and just a very lazy sense of script writing. And I just felt like it's really what a lot of the film revolved around. Every time you lost a character, you didn't really care. And then another point I want to bring up, guys, is just the acting in this movie was just really poor and very subpar. It really took me out of the film, a lot of the scenes. There were a couple good scenes, but I mean, besides that, majority of this movie was pretty poor in the acting department, sadly. And then for my last point, guys, I have to circle back to my first point a little bit. Just the fact that the characters in this movie lacked character depth and they were just really, really dry. Like, if you're gonna have a movie where, you're gonna be losing characters and stuff, you want those deaths or disappearances to be impactful and you want them to mean something, but they didn't really mean anything. And that was because they didn't have any depth or development. The only real development of any character in the movie was Ramon. I just felt like it was just lazy that they didn't go deeper into these characters and show more emotion and show more of like why they were afraid of the things that were popping up. And it lacked emotion, it lacked heart. It just felt like a cash grab, honestly. Alright, and I just want to throw a little side note out there for you guys. Am I the only one who noticed that the main character, Chuck, looks just like Bilbo Baggins from The Hobbit? Alright, so on to my judgment and movie score. Alright, time to bust out the shady meter. Alright guys, so for the plot of this film, I'm going to have to give this movie a solid 6.3 out of 10. And that's honestly just because, although I noticed that this film was pretty bad, I do recognize that it had really good vision, it had a really good idea, it was based off a really famous book. It's just that the people who made the film didn't really build that much on top of this movie. And then for the script, guys, I'm going to have to give this movie a solid 4.1 out of 10 because this movie was just very lazy. Like, it wasn't written well, and you could tell it throughout the whole movie. It had very dry dialogue. It had a couple cheap quips in there that were okay and somewhat funny, but besides that, a lot of the dialogue in this movie was very predictable and very basic. And then for the acting, guys, I'm going to have to give this movie a solid 3.7 out of 10. And that's mostly because a big problem in this movie is the acting from all the characters. It just wasn't believable. It was very dry in their character development, and I just felt like I never really felt terror or real suspense coming from these characters, and these actors they didn't really fit the roles very well. And then for the structure and pacing, guys, I'm going to have to give this movie a solid 3.5 out of 10. And that's because from point A to point B in this movie, I was just really bored. This movie was over 2 hours long, and honestly, this movie could have been cut down to 1 hour and 30 minutes. The 2-hour and 5-minute runtime was not necessary for this film. And then for the overall score, guys, I'm gonna have to give Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark a solid 3.9 out of 10. So if you guys are gonna go see Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark, just stay home and avoid the shade. So, Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark. Have you guys seen it? Have you guys not? Jump down in the comments section. Let's start a conversation. Remember to like, subscribe. Thank you guys for watching this video, and I'll see you guys next time.